Here we are, Homestead, Miami. A little slight breeze to the left here tonight, but feeling pretty good. In race number 2, can Dwayne Vincent repeat tonight?
Yeah, I think he can. Keep him a strong driver all night long last week. As I watched the replay, couldn't be here with you guys, a little busy. But Keaton, it was just an amazing race by these guys starting out this TV series they're doing on Thursday night, Real Sim Racing. And I think it's glad to see that these guys are getting more involved with us here at ETV Live.
And to go over and recap last week, just in the points here, this is where they also finished. The top 10, Dwayne Vincent, of course, winning. Nicholas Silver finishing second. He's 5 points behind Vincent. Doug Roth is third in the points, 6 points behind. Luis Rodriguez fourth. John Wilco in that 5th spot, 8 points back from the leader, Vincent.
In 6th place, you've got Rhett McBride, 9 points back. Eric Arnold, always a strong driver here with Real Sim Racing, 10 points back. 8th place, you got Steve Herring. 9th, you got Joe Reuter, 12 points back. Tied with him in 10th place, you got Lawrence Phillips.
There you go, the top 10 there. And, of course, you know, that was last week. New track here tonight, Homestead, Miami. Qualifying getting underway. Quickest on the board right now. You said his name, or we said his name earlier. The number 11 Chevrolet, Dwayne Vincent, 32.050. So far, no one's able to beat him yet, Matt.
Yeah, so far not able to beat Dwayne Vincent yet. I mean, we've raced with him. I've raced with him before in that midnight series that these guys do on Friday nights, and just always a fast driver. I mean, this is a little bit of a different group. I don't usually see these guys racing the trucks here on Real Sim Racing.
And two, I want to make mention the fastest in practice was Scott Grenberg in that number 5 machine. But Scott put it 3rd quickest on the board right now. So he'll be starting from the 3rd spot if his qualifying time stands. There's still about 4 minutes of qualifying to go. 23 drivers have actually qualified. I think leaving 5 or 6 had not qualified yet. So a couple still qualifying right now, but we'll get started here shortly. Matt?
Yeah, Keaton, let's take a moment. We got to talk about this track a little bit, because this is just a fascinating track. You got the high line, you got your low line, but that low line being really bumpy and really loose on the exit of the turn, Keaton.
Absolutely, Matt. And this, you know, Homestead Miami Speedway is just it's just a little over a mile and a half, and like you mentioned, this track can be a little tight. I noticed last week we were here with the Blizzard series, and Miami is one of those tracks where you got to keep the car soft coming out of the corners. If not, that thing will drift up toward the wall and you'll hit it. We saw a lot of that happening here last week with the Blizzard series, so the Winter series with the RSR. So, but this is a different breed of drivers. This is a different car. This is actually the truck, so a lot different.
Oh yeah, and we're probably looking at about 70 laps on gas here tonight, guys. And like we said, tight racetrack. Going into the turns especially, leaving it can be a little bit loose, so probably see these guys take 4 tires every time they come by as they get going here. But I'm expecting some long runs tonight, Keaton.
Absolutely. I expect a good green flag run, hopefully some green flag pit stops. That'd be fun to watch. You mentioned 70 laps. If these guys try to cut it halfway, it's going to be around lap 45 or lap 50 because there's only 90 laps here, so it'll be interesting. And when we return after the National Anthem, we'll have the starting lineups here at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Outlaw Series with the RSR Series.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back, race fans. Again, we're here live at the Homestead Miami Speedway, the RSR Outlaw Truck Series, the Sandy Hook Memorial 90 getting set to start here any moment. But before we get them fired up, let's go down trackside for the command to do so.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
All right, so starting on the front row, we mentioned his name earlier. He's in the lead for the points. Dwayne Vincent outside him in the 20 machine, Joe Reuter.
Starting on the second row, third place, number 5, Scott Granbergen. On the outside of him, the 97, Nathan Little.
Bobby Terrell in the 14th, going to start 5th tonight, rolling off 6th in the 71 machine, Larry King.
Back in 7th place, number 15th, Lawrence Phillips, with running a 32-141, about a 10th off your pole sitter.
Two guys that's no stranger to the RSR other leagues that run in this series. David Lanza rolling off 9th, and in the 16th, Steve Ritter.
Starting back in the 11th place, you have the 21 of Brian Lovingood, and outside of him, Jose Gonzalez in that number 26.
Eric Arnold in the 47 going to roll off 13th tonight. And in the 10 truck, John Abbott rolling off 14th.
Rolling off in 15th, you have the number 37, Luis Rodriguez. And on the outside of him, the 08 of Kyle Tarzaska.
Adam Roberts in the 88 machine, 17th tonight. 18th quickest on the board, the 82 machine of John Milwain.
Rolling off 19th to 63, Scott Stenzel. And on the outside of him, Eric Mallet.
In the 4 truck, Sam Edwards 21st, Jason Lester starting 22nd.
Starting 23rd, the 08 of Sean Rosen. And on the outside of him, no stranger as well on RSR, Doug Ross.
John Wilco, the last to take time here, 25th spot for him. Jimmy North, the first guy not to qualify, going to roll off 26th.
And the 27th, you got number 30, Nicholas Silver. On the outside of him, 67, Sean Castro.
And 29th tonight in the 12th truck, Douglas White to his right in the 30th position. 52 truck belongs to Aaron Groskoff. And then Stephen Herring in the number 98 machine going to roll off 31st tonight as the pace car, Matt, getting set to take us down pit road here. And then taking Dwayne Vincent to the green flag here for the first lap at Miami Speedway.
Yeah, he gets a good jump as they go into one. These first 3 guys starting to single it out. As you can see them starting to already work those 2 grooves I was talking about, Keane. You got guys on the high side and guys right down on that white line. It's going to be a race off the turns.
Keep an eye on that second place battle right there between Joe Reuter and the 97 of Nathan Little. Now, Matt, Monday here, we saw some good racing on the outside. Dwayne Vincent and some of the others showing that the high line here at Homestead Miami Speedway does work. And I expect to see the same type racing here tonight in the trucks.
Oh yeah, especially in the trucks here, because these guys, with the fixed setups that they run on Real Sim Racing, it's just so close racing. The entire race long, a lot of experience with these guys in their Friday Midnight Thunder Series and this. They're all clean drivers, and it's always competitive.
Absolutely. In fact, we got a high lane maneuver here by the 71 truck that's in 8th place. He's battling with David Lanza. Larry King's in that 71 truck right there on the outside. David Lanza working the inside here as they complete lap 3, single file just ahead of them. But a little bit of 2 wide racing here, Matt. These guys trying to get their feel for the truck and see exactly where to run, if the high side's good here early on or if the low side's running good. But you see these 2 guys still side by side.
Yeah, you can see though, guys, going into the turn, Lanza makes up the most ground. And on the high side of Larry King, he's able to pull up back down the straightaway. As you see Larry King slide all the way up towards the wall there, but he's going to get that burst of speed, like I said, all the way down the straightaway. So it's definitely going to be a fight on who can actually run their lines better, because they're pretty much even in speed overall.
Absolutely, Matt. You saw Larry King, man. I tell you, he got some momentum coming out of the turn, and that's what we're seeing here. David Lanza is having a baby the throttle a little bit now. He's going to have the run. David Lanza is going to make the pass, and here comes Steve Ritter, who's in 10th. Now he's being passed on the high side by Jose Gonzalez. So, again, this battle here all the way up to 8th with David Lanza. Steve Ritter in the mix as well. And now Jose Gonzalez is making his truck team towards the front here is known.
Yeah, as we look back here, right behind Larry King, you got Steve Ritter still under attack. So, just not able to settle in there yet. Lanza's finally made that pass, as it looks like the 27 of Brian Loving's getting loose.
Yeah, that's in the 12th position truck. Brian Lovingood and John Abbott directly behind him. And you know, this is what John Abbott wants to see, sitting back here 13th, about 8, 9, 10 car lengths off of that 12th place guy in front of him. Too wide racing. That'll slow him down a little bit. John Abbott's going to catch him and hopefully put the pass on them here in a little bit or so. But that's what you want, Matt. If you're that guy trying to chase somebody down, you want to see that the guys in front of you race each other hard, wear the tires off, and that way, you know, when it's time and we got a lone green flag run, you got all the momentum.
Yeah, I'm just watching back here in the 10th place, 71 Larry King still stuck on that high side. He's just pretty much eating up those tires, battling David Lanza, falling back, losing time every lap. As now he's got that 26 of Jose Gonzalez just cruising on by him slowly here.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, the high side has its positives, and the high side also has its negatives, Matt. You mentioned tire wear. Being on the outside, you saw Larry King there. He's still stuck up there. The 21 truck trying to work underneath him now. The 71 Larry King just going backwards here. Guy started in 6th position. Now he's worked himself all the way back to 12th, just now being passed. And, you know, being stuck on that high side has its negatives. And we could see early signs of the negativity because of the right front starting to wear out and then them guys getting by him.
Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look up front. You still got Dwayne Vincent leading the pack. Oh, a few car lengths, or a few truck lengths actually. Tonight, you got the 97 and Nathan Little behind him. And then right behind him, actually a battle for 3rd now going on. You had that 5, Scott Granberg, just making a pass on the number 20 of Joe Reuter for 3rd place. And now he's pulled out about it by a truck length. And now you got Bobby Terrell now trying to make a pass on that 20.
Yeah, now Joe the Show last Thursday night here, Matt, put on one heck of a show, and you know, that the truck right there, Enjoy the Show, that's on the back tailgate, just says it best. Here again, Joe's up here at the front, Reuter's up here at the front, and mixing up here with the leaders. We just saw Scott Granberg, who was quickest in practice, although not quickest in qualifying, but nonetheless, he's up there. He just made the position pass for 3rd, and that's where he started. So it's never bad when you're in the position that you started in.
Yeah, and on the side of my screen back here, I'm looking back in 8th place. I believe it's now 7th place. David Lanza is taking 7th place from the number 2 of Rhett McBride back here, just making a smooth move, driving it off into the turn, clearing him on the entry by braking a little bit later, sliding it up and getting that run down the straightaway. And that's the move we're going to see a lot here tonight. Keaton is just overpowering him into the turn to slide up and get that power down the backstretch.
Yeah, so far these guys doing a fabulous job of good clean racing. 11 laps into this thing. The leader just took us, Dwayne Vincent just took us to the 11th lap. I have seen no signs, Matt, of any foul play here. A lot of these guys racing very competitively. They're real close. They're passing each other. They're giving plenty of room. It's still early here. Homestead, Miami is one of those fun tracks to drive. I love this track. It's 1.5 miles long, and it's got a really good groove, I think. And it can make for some two-wide racing, and we're seeing a little bit of that. Looking back here in 15th and 16th and 17th here, Sam Edwards underneath Adam Roberts, as we see, again, a little two-wide action here. So Homestead's a lot of fun to race and watch.
Yeah, definitely a race where if you're looking around, there's always someone passing somebody. Back up here, you've got once again, the 20 in a battle with the 14 of Bobby Terrell for 4th place now. You got Bobby Terrell passing him on the inside, getting the run off the turn to clear him as they're coming down the front stretch. So Bobby Terrell making the pass on Joe, the number 20 truck, for 4th place. And now Joe's under attack for 5th place by Lawrence Phillips.
Yeah, Lawrence Phillips worked himself all the way up into the 6th position. And just ahead of them, man, or just ahead of him, Joe Reuter in the 20 truck. We mentioned him earlier. He just got passed by Bobby Terrell. So, you know, Bobby on a move here.
Oh yeah, and definitely, I think at this point, looking in 5th place, you got Joe Reuter. He's actually holding these guys up, I think. These guys were spread out a couple laps ago, Keaton, and now he's got a whole line of cars that want to work their way by him. They're sitting there patiently. Like we said, no foul play here tonight, but definitely they're trying to make the move on that 20 truck.
And just behind him, Lawrence Phillips there coming out of 2, getting a little bit loose, maybe a little bit too much throttle, maybe not. But just up ahead of them, a battle for 3rd starting to shape up. Nathan Little may give way to Bobby Terrell here. Coming out of 4's got the momentum. He's still there. There's still single file draft in place there. But, you know, David Lanza, now he works underneath the 15 of Lawrence Phillips. So you're right, man. David Lanza and some of these guys that's behind Reuter is ready to make their move towards the front.
Yeah, and just looking at where they started, you got Lanza. He started 9th. He fell back a little bit at the start to about 11th place, and he's been picking off cars one by one since the beginning of this thing. As he's now picking up another position to work his way up to 6th place. As you got that 15 Lawrence Phillips going up towards the wall to get that run, like we said, all the way down the straightaways here at Homestead.
Still 2 wide action here back with David Lanza and Lawrence Phillips. Now Lawrence is the guy that's on the outside stuck there. The 2-car, Rhett McBride, working underneath. The 15 I thought was going to come down and collect him. He stayed off of him. Probably a lot more room than what appeared. And that's how racing is, Matt. You know, a lot of stuff looks close and looks kind of sketchy and scary, but these guys doing a fine job of keeping these big trucks stable on the racetrack for the most part. You know, you don't really need a whole lot of room in trucks. These guys can probably just bounce off of each other and still race. So that's what's fun about the truck series in itself, is that these trucks don't take a lot. You know, they can take a lot of beating.
Oh yeah, they can at some spots, but back here, 15th, slid high. Now he's working his way under the 2 of Brett McBride for 7th place as they go into 3, pushes him up the track. But it looks like Brett McBride's actually going to get the good out of this deal as he shoots down the straightaways like we've seen all night. But Keaton, just looking at this, the amount of time battling makes you lose. Lanza passed that 2 not too long ago, and look at this. He's already pulled out about 3 or 4 truck lengths in about a lap and a half.
Yeah, now David Lanza is going to probably look underneath Reuter in turn 3. He does. This is the battle for 5th now as David Lanza almost gets the left rear quarter panel of the 20 machine, stays off of him, and he's underneath him in turn 4. He's going to take over 5th and set his eyes on Bobby Terrell that's running 4th.
I think there was actually a tap there, Keaton. I wouldn't be too happy about it. It looks like Joe Reuter's not giving him too much room down that straightaway. But Lanza able to complete that pass to put himself in the top 5, just in front of him. Like you mentioned, Bobby Terrell trying to work his way underneath him little. The 97 for the 3rd place as they go down the back stretch. Guys, they're only on lap 19. Keaton, still a long ways to go, though.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on our battle right here in 2nd or 3rd position. Well, the 14 truck, Bobby Terrell, looks like Nathan Little just put the hand out the window and said, "Go on, buddy, I know you're a little bit faster." And David Lanza, who's running 5th now, Matt, the 97, Nathan Little, probably going to do the exact same thing to him. David Lanza has moved his way up through the field, but let me tell you something. I know we're working John to death, but go up here to 2nd place. Scott Granberg in the 5 truck is reeling in the leader, Dwayne Vincent. Last time by, about 2/10 quicker this time by. He's closed in with about 3 truck lengths, Matt. So Scott Granberg, the guy that was fastest in practice, but 3rd quickest in qualifying, is now starting to reel in last week's winner, Dwayne Vincent.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that ticker there. He picked off another 10th that lap. So just an amazing ride. He was about a second behind last time I was looking at my scoreboard, and now he's 2/10. So definitely amazing run coming into the closing laps of, and well, not really in the closing laps, but in the middle of this run for Scott Granberg. Just looks like Dwayne Vincent maybe eating up those tires, going a little too quick, trying to stay out front. Looking back though, back in the 5th place position, David Lanza being passed by Nathan Little on the high side. So Nathan Little's showing what that high side can do tonight.
Yeah, you would have thought that David Lanza would have, you know, well, actually, wasn't David Lanza battling? Or actually, David Lanza's actually passing Nathan Little for 4th.
You got to remember though, Keaton, we said it looked like Nathan Little just put the hand out the window a few laps ago, and Nathan Little tried to make that run again. But Bobby Terrell getting himself out of that pack, finally giving himself some clean air in 3rd place, pulling a few truck lengths out in front of Lanza, but Lanza's still under attack of this whole group, as it looks like the 20 almost gets into the 97 as they come out of 2.
Going back up here to 1st and 2nd, Matt, closer than ever. Dwayne Vincent starting to notice the rear view mirror starting to look a lot more full as the 5 truck of Scott Granberg starting to really man down the front stretch. He's closed within half a truck length, and now he lets off a little bit to give Dwayne Vincent a little breathing room, but nonetheless, he's there, man. He is there. Scott Granberg's there.
I don't know if it's so much breathing room, Keaton, as he's trying to set him up. He wants to be able to make that pass in the right place, which, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, is pretty much entering the turn to drive it in there and hope it sticks until you can clear the guy in the middle of the turn to get that runoff. But look at these different lines. The 11 just slides up, and the 5 is going underneath him. Scott Granberg's going to lead that lap, it looks like, as they head down into 1.
Yep, Scott Granberg did receive the credit for leading it. And new leader, 25 laps into the race, and Granberg will probably start to pull away here a little bit. He's already up to about 1 truck length on Dwayne Vincent. And I'll tell you what, you're not going to miss a thing, but we're going to go to our first commercial break. We're going to go ETV Side by Live. Again, you're watching the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series, the Sandy Hook Memorial 90 here at Homestead Miami Speedway. We'll be right back. Landon Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to go off. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in 2nd. You know, and we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 car.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4 to the checkered flag. He wins his first NASCAR iRacing goal.
And we are back. Again, you're watching at Homestead Miami Speedway, the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series, the Sandy Hook Memorial 90. And we are 32 laps into this race. And a rundown of the top 5. Currently, Dwayne Vincent just now taking back the lead over Scott Granberg, put him in first, and Bobby Terrell getting by Granberg, put him in second. And Scott in that 5 truck going back to third. David Lanza running fourth, and Rhett McBride rounding out the top 5. And I tell you what, this Real Sim Racing League puts on one heck of a series and all their competitive series, but they wouldn't get it done if it wasn't for iLeagueRace.com. These guys are a website and points management system that you can do custom scoring protocols, complete scheduling and managements of series and events, which Real Sim Racing uses. And you can check them out, iLeagueRace.com. They've got all kinds of different things that you can look at, tools and stuff that you can look up and get done for your league. And I tell you what, Real Sim Racing does a great job working with iLeague Race. So if you're out there and you're looking for a league of some sorts to start up, iLeagueRace.com, check them out. And Matt, I tell you what, now we got a new pass for the lead. Dwayne Vincent giving over to Bobby Terrell, the 14th truck. That Honda Racing Chevrolet going to take the lead here for the first time at Homestead, Miami, 35 laps in.
Yeah, but don't look too far behind them, Keaton. You got David Lanza strong all night, worked his way up to the 3rd place now and gaining on those leaders as they're racing side by side, definitely costing him a lot of time. So that 33 truck on the move.
Let's go all the way back here to 15th position, John Milwane. I tell you what, this guy in the 82 truck started 18th tonight. He's worked himself up to 15th. He's had a couple of mishaps where he's got by some people, then he would push it high, and then he had to run it back down the track, try to grab the wheel. And he's trying to get it up there. But I tell you what, Matt, this deep into a green flag race, you really need a caution. Some of these guys are way off. And they've lost the draft, and that's what we see with John Milwane back here in 15th. He's lost the draft of Sam Edwards, who's just ahead of him in that 4 truck. And, the draft is important here at Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, definitely important as we're seeing with the lead battle right now, is that these guys, they've got to stay in line to stay fast. But I'm looking back here. We got a couple cars already in trouble with the number 40 of John Wilco and Eric Arnold, both off the not off the track right now, but off the track for a while.
Back here in 16th position, Doug Roth, Kyle Taraska, and Eric Malik is back here. Man, I tell you what, Matt, racing hard. The 08 up there high side, Eric down low. Doug Roth was right in the middle of that just a moment ago. A lot of hard racing right here for 16th position, but again, you got to make the position pass when you can. And I think that's what we're seeing here. And we're seeing also who's saving the tires a little bit more than the other.
Yeah, definitely the tire we're starting to come into play on who saved the tires, who didn't. Is Doug Roth now working his way out? Oh, and I thought he was going to come down on Doug Roth right there. But completing the pass on the inside, you got that car up on the high side, very squirrely.
Now Adam Roberts, who's back here in 19th position, he puts his truck lid underneath the 08 machine of Kyle Taraska back here down the front stretch. Oh, and 88 Adam is going to touch him and rub fenders. I tell you what, man, Homestead Miami Speedway, don't get no closer than that, Matt.
Definitely not any closer than that. As he's working his way back on the outside, that number 8, it's just, these guys starting to definitely show the tire wear, getting a little squirrely. You got the 08 and the 8 battling side by side. Keaton, and I mean, just starting to really show.
Yeah, and Adam Roberts is going to successfully make that pass on Kyle and take over 18th position. And good news is for Adam Roberts, he's got Eric Malik right in front of him, and then Doug Roth in that 43 truck right there in front. Oh, that's Doug Roth in the 16th position, almost loses it coming out of 2. That's going to allow Eric to catch him a little bit. And also Adam Roberts has just enough sniff of the draft to catch them for 17th and 16th.
Yeah, and looking up front, you got Dwayne Vincent under attack from David Lanza now. Bobby Terrell being able to pull out from these guys, get out of that draft a little bit, and finally run his truck the way he wants to run it. But so far, it's still single file, pretty much all the way through your top 14, back to the 5th place, 15th on back, to where we were talking about Adam Roberts, Doug Roth, Eric Malik, pretty much having the battle they did. And I'm looking through the field right now. You got single file. But let's go back and we got to talk to people about the 20th position. You got the 8 Sean Rosen, who we just saw battling a little bit. For 21st, actually, right now, you got Jimmy North underneath the 67 of Sean Casteau trying to make that pass. You got Sean Casteau on the outside to pass the line ahead of Jimmy North, and Jimmy North going to clear him going into 1.
Yeah, you kind of saw the chat communication pop up, which pretty much signifies the hand going out the window. Sean there just giving Jimmy North the go-ahead pass. Jimmy will take over 21st. And then also look back here in 23rd, Scott Stencil. I mean, he's right here, too, in the mix to get himself up into the top 20. And we got a truck in the wall up here in 20th position. Sean Ronson. Oh, he's going to come down right in front of Jimmy North out of turn 4. And, man, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt big time. No caution, but that allows Scott Stencil in the 23 position to close in as well. But the 8 truck, Ronson, in the wall, then they're going to come down right in front of Jimmy North. Nowhere to go. Going to give him a little bit of a squeeze and possibly a little bit of right front damage, Matt.
Yeah, definitely some right front damage, and that's exactly what happened to Eric Arnold. Is he just got into that wall a little hard and damage, had to go sit on pit road for a little while. Same thing, number 40, John Wilco. Both them 30 and 31, 12 and 13 laps down, but they can still gain some positions here, so they're out there running on the track if a big wreck happens to come up. But looking up front again, real quick, Keaton, you got Lanza finally making that pass by Dwayne Vincent to take the 2nd place, and starting to make a little bit of a charge going towards the front as he's picked off hundredths each lap on Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, and Bobby Terrell, man, this guy's no stranger to the truck series here. You know, 4th quickest in practice, Matt. Put it 5th quickest in qualifying, and here he is, 45 laps, coming to the halfway lap this time by. Going to put 46 on the board out of 90 laps. He's in the lead. Not only in the lead, Matt, but he's about half a second in the lead. So Bobby Terrell really putting on a show here as far as a clinic of how do you save your right front tire. And David Lanza, as you mentioned, getting by Vincent there for 2nd. Vincent now starting to fall under attack by Scott Granberg in 4th position. So a lot of these guys starting to close up here, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place, though.
Yeah, and that's just staying in that line. Like we said, the draft's so important at this track. It's big enough down the straightaways. You're carrying about 180 miles an hour off into the turns at this point in the ride.
Matt, the 29th position truck belongs to Douglas White, and he's the 12th car. 12th truck, and he's in 29th position. He's down on pit road. Right sides went up, left sides are now up, and looks like this may have been a scheduled green flag pit stop. So we're halfway home here, and this is probably the reason why some of these guys pitting, and then we see some other ones pulling off down the pit road as well, Matt.
Yeah, and that'd be the 08 and the 9. And then I believe that's Scott Stenzel also coming down pit road right now. So looking at it, guys, we're lap 48, a little over halfway through this race, starting to make our way on the downside. Green flag pit stops, these guys splitting the run 50-50 except for these leaders. But I can't imagine pit strategy going to be coming soon. Lanza, somebody got to be pulling down early trying to make up extra ground with the fresher tires.
Yeah, and you know, like you mentioned, green flag pit stops here, 50-50 splitting it halfway, Matt. You got to think these guys will probably be, or should be able to make it the rest of the way. So, you know, as long as we stay green, these guys will have a green flag finish, and they'll have enough fuel to do it. And I'll tell you what, let's go back to the Real Sim Racing Monday night Full Throttle Cup Series, where Landon Huffman, championship winner there, and winning the championship, putting it in dramatic fashion as well. You know, he didn't really even have to show up to Homestead, the track that we're here at tonight, and he would have won. And was presented the Bob Earl Racing Cockpit by Bob Earl himself, and that was a real fun event. I know Landon is going to really enjoy that cockpit that he's going to receive, and you can get one too. I know it's getting close to Christmas, but you can still put it on the list and get you one order today at BobEarlRacing.com. This is a simulation racing cockpit created and designed by the championship race car driver himself, Bob Earl. And I tell you what, who better to build one than Bob Earl, a real championship race car driver. He knows what it's like to sit behind the racing seat of a real truck and a real car, and you know, who better to build one than someone that's been behind the wheel and knows what it's like. So you can get one. They're fully adjustable. The frame's adjustable. You can get an additional monitor stand and a shifter mount that's sold separately, but you can get it all for $349 plus shipping. Put it on your Christmas list. Put it in your favorites on your browser, BobEarlRacing.com. You can always ask for one for your birthday. Tax season's around the corner. You know, get that child tax credit in work and gear, guys, and get you a Bob Earl Racing cockpit.
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely want one of those places, Keaton, just to have that feel of actually being in the car and still be comfortable. I mean, we talked to Bob Earl, and he said he created this thing thinking he was racing with his kid back on, like, the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's an ingenious design, and it's really, you know, it's not that big. And, you know, the wife wouldn't be able to complain too much about it. It's just about the size of a desk, maybe a little bit bigger than your normal average desk. And, you know, you can push that thing away. You won't need it anymore, baby. You just hook your monitor right up to it. It's got that monitor stand with it. And, you know, you can get you one.
Yeah, but as you were talking about that, down on pit road, you had Scott Granberg go down and take his tires and gas, and then you had Bobby Terrell. So those are two fast guys, both came down pit road about the same lap. You had Scott Granberg put in a number of time on everybody else so far that's pit in front of him, and even over your leader before you pit, Bobby Terrell. So Keaton, definitely these pit stops starting to shake up the order a little bit. I think Lanza and Dwayne Vincent definitely doing more harm than good at this point.
Yep, and as you just mentioned, Lanza and Vincent, they're actually going to pit here together, Matt. David Lanza down there on the deacceleration lane, as well as Dwayne Vincent. New leader on the racetrack, Brett McBride in the number 2 truck, going to take over the lead down the front stretch. And he'll lead for the first time here. Lap 55 complete out of 90. And the 2 leaders, though, Matt, on pit road.
Yeah, definitely 2 leaders down here on pit road. It's going to shake things up. We got to see where these guys come out. Like I said, that 5 of Scott Granberg put a lot of time over Bobby Terrell, and Bobby Terrell is still going to be putting a lot of time over Lanza. So definitely a question of why these guys would wait so long to pit. It looks like so far, though, after all these pit stops go through, you're going to have the number 5 of Scott Granberg to be your leader.
And the 4 sides did go up on Lanza's machine. Now here's one for you. Lawrence Phillips, who was running 10th when he came in the 15th truck, right sides only, Matt. And he's out and away. Dwayne Vincent, who led most of your laps here tonight at Homestead, he did take 4 as well. And but like you said, when things start to settle out in the leader, who is now Jose Gonzalez, after he pits, it'll cycle around, and Scott Granberg will more than likely be the leader.
Yeah, Keaton, I just want to take a quick mention, because some of our viewers might be questioning if they're not familiar with the iRacing servers. Is you guys see these trucks coming down this access road pretty much on the backstretch to come down into pit stall. Well, that was an old rule in NASCAR. No, not so much anymore, but iRacing still keeps that rule. They've got to come off on the backstretch and re-enter on the backstretch here at Homestead, or else they'll get an unsafe pit penalty and have to do another stop and go.
Yeah, Matt, excellent point, and let's make mention too how slow and dangerous that could be, because you really want to, you know, maintain good speed, but at the same time you're gonna have to deaccelerate. And Jose Gonzalez, who's been showing your leader now, coming down pit road, and it's a slow pit road speed too, buddy. 45 miles an hour, can't go a mile an hour over it or you get busted. And you know, you got to be careful going down that access road, and then coming off pit road. Matt, you mentioned you can't enter into the backstretch, so both of those access roads and or the acceleration lane and acceleration lane, if you will, are very, you know, very slow, and they could be dangerously or could be dangerous if you try to, you know, speed on them.
Well, Keaton, we gotta get John over there on the E1, because that 88, just like you were talking about, Adam Roberts slipping up, coming out of turn 4 on the access road, head on into the tires on entry into pit road.
Yep, that's what'll happen. He might have shifted. It looked like he might have shifted down there, Matt. He was probably in third, threw it in second, or maybe he was in second, threw it in first, and that truck just went around, like you said, or like the rear brakes locked up, and man, you know, he was in third position.
Yeah, and I think we just seen the end of our pit road so far. Maybe you got Doug Ross still out there running laps. I'm waiting for my scoring here to update, but definitely Scott Granberg to the lead now. Number 5 back out front by over half a second over Bobby Terrell, and over 1.8 seconds back to Lawrence Phillips. So definitely staying out, hurting Dwayne Vincent, David Lanza back by almost 3 seconds. More harm than good done there, Keith.
And keep in mind, Lawrence Phillips, who's being shown in the third place position, putting oh, he's going to get into Jason Lester there a little bit. Excuse me, Jason, as he makes move coming out of 4 there. But Lawrence Phillips, Matt, only took right sides. So this is going to be fun to watch unfold if he can hang on to the truck out there with only 1 pit stop, because so far these guys doing an excellent run of green flag running.
Yeah, it looks like single file again, though, pretty much around the track. You got Lanza working his way around some lap traffic. So Lanza, after they're going to the pit stops, back in 5th place. He's working his way around a lap car right now. I believe it's the 22, I want to say.
And just a quick rundown here, Matt, the top 10. Scott Granberg is leading, but Bobby Terrell is hot in pursuit in 2nd place, about a truck and a half length behind Lawrence Phillips, who took right sides on the green flag pit stops in 3rd. Dwayne Vincent, last week's winner in the 11 trucks, in 4th. David Lanza, who's shown a little bit of speed here today at Homestead, is in 5th. Rhett McBride, who led a little bit earlier, is in 6th. Steve Ritter, who's yet to lead a lap, is in 7th. Joe Reuter, the show, putting on a show last week, is in 9th. Jose Gonzalez was in 9th, made the pass for 8th. Brian Lovingood in 10th position, and 21 trucks on the lead lap. The first being a lap down, Jason Lester in the 92 machine.
Key and strong race. You got Bobby Terrell finally chasing down that number 5 as Scott Granberg for the lead. So Bobby Terrell gonna be making that pass soon. Lawrence Phillips hanging tough with those 2 tires you said he took, because he's gaining on these leaders still in hard charge by Vincent. So maybe I was wrong. Maybe staying out later did pay off in the long run for these guys.
Here comes Bobby. He's underneath the 5 truck of Scott Granberg down the backstretch. He's got a little bit of momentum, lost a little bit here in turn 3. Going to have to back her down a lot more to keep her down there on the bottom, as the 5 truck going to push him down a little bit just to say, hey man, I'm there. Lap traffic just ahead. Bobby Terrell going to take the lead here down the front stretch, but not so fast. Scott Granberg's on the outside, Matt.
Yeah, and you know what? Lawrence Phillips saying maybe I'll go 3 wide for the lead.
Caution on the speedway here at Miami for the first time tonight. Back in 28th position, Sean Casto. Gonna nail the wall coming out of turn 4, and just a single spin there, no one else involved, thank goodness. Sean Casto is back in 28th, being shown 4 laps down. Heavy damage to that truck, Matt.
Yeah, that truck, I mean, I know he just went down and got tires, Keegan, we saw it, but it looks like maybe the right rear just went out on him as he spins around there. We haven't seen that at all tonight, so definitely a rare occurrence. It looks like that tire might have gone down, but that's a very rare thing to happen here on iRacing.
Yeah, I know John Abbott's counting the blessings. He was running 12th, and the spin happened right in front of him, and avoided it. And again, John Abbott's probably, you know, wiping the sweat from the forehead after that one. John, by the way, and points-wise, did not race last week. I think he was adminning the race, so he's all the way back. I guess you could put him in 35th, 36th, something like that. So he's here tonight, nonetheless, though, running into the top 15 and the 12th position right now, Matt, currently.
Yeah, as we see a lot of people coming down pit road, pretty much everybody to come down and take tires is important, as we saw. The longer that run went on, the fresher the tires were, the faster they were. But it looks like we may have a few people staying out, too, during this run, Keith.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who stays out and for what reason, just to get a bonus point or for, you know, just to get that track position. I mean, we've only seen one yellow flag, and it was a self-spin by Casto there, but you know, too, like you mentioned, it looked like the right rear, the left rear just went out on him, and that truck just went around. So it wasn't one of those, you know, hard racing deals where someone got into you. It was just, you know, you're driving along, and all of a sudden, you know, boom, the truck tire goes flat, and you're in the wall. And folks, if you haven't heard, sponsoring the Thursday night Real Sim Racing series, Inside Sim Racing, your first and best choice for all the news and reviews in online motorsports at RSRTV.com. The yellow pages of online auto racing, Inside Sim Racing has it all. Join Darren Ganji and Sean Cole for the latest and greatest in product reviews, simulation, auto racing sims for the computer, Xbox crowd, and all those above. From steering wheels to full-size racing rigs, updates on popular racing games, and a whole lot more at ISRTV.com. These guys do a phenomenal job, by the way, of putting together videos and explaining everything in detail. If you're one of those guys that love detail, check them out, man. ISRTV.com. I look at their stuff all the time. Very cool, vital information for iRacing. If you're out here and you're in this crowd watching the iRacing race here tonight, this is the website for you. Put it up in your browser, add it to your favorites and or widgets if you have a cell phone. Get it on there. Look at it every day. You'll be surprised with the amount of information that this site gives you. And we're still working the caution here as Doug Roth is being shown the race leader. Douglas White in front of him, Aaron Grosskopf in the 27th position, 52 truck, just behind the pace car, giving him a little bit of love tap, saying, "Hey, Kyle Petty, I'm right here behind you. I want my lap back." Grosskopf is 2 laps down. He's going to be set to get 1 lap down, and if a caution flag were to come out, he could easily get back on that lead lap, possibly with a wave around here. But Doug Roth is the leader. He's not going to come down pit road this time, Matt, which means he's staying out. So is Jose Gonzalez in second. So those two are the only trucks that stayed out. Jose Gonzalez, Matt, and Doug Roth in first.
Yeah, and Keaton, these guys way back in the pack, so not surprised, finally putting themselves somewhere where they'll be actually racing for some decent amount of points. They've been back about 19th, 18th all night long. So glad to see these guys up front making the effort, but we can also see cars slower like this at the front of the pack causing a lot of trouble and a lot of wrecks. So I'm going to think we're going to see yellow quick right away.
I'm looking back at the last time that these guys pitted. Jose Gonzalez last pitted on lap 58. And since then, we've only done 6 laps of green flag racing. Okay, that's Jose Gonzalez. Looking at Doug Roth, he pitted on lap 57, which puts him about 7 to 8 green flag laps of racing. So, Matt, not a whole lot of green flag racing that these tires have on them in front of Scott Granberg and Bobby Terrell, but these guys did pit during this caution, so they'll have the fresher tires, of course. But how long will Doug Roth and Jose Gonzalez stay out front here? Do you expect 10, maybe 5, 10 laps and then they'll start to fall back, or do you think immediately?
I just think immediately, like right off the start, going through 2, they'll already lose 5 positions by then. If they hadn't wrecked half the field, I mean, this is always a dangerous stunt to pull.
Well, we'll find out here in a minute as Doug Roth takes the green flag. Jose Gonzalez to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll take the inside lane. He's in second. Meanwhile, Bobby Terrell and the 5 truck of Scott Granberg and Dwayne Vincent are going to battle it out for third and fourth and on back. And Jose Gonzalez is reeling in Doug Roth coming out of 2, Matt.
Yes, Jose Gonzalez making that pass on the inside. Behind them, Vincent passing the 14, Bobby Terrell on the inside as they go into 3. Is Doug Roth losing that first place position? Jose Gonzalez gonna lead the lap to pick up the bonus point.
You mentioned, man, I'll tell you what, Dwayne Vincent and Bobby Terrell in that third position. Heated battle, still side by side. The 14 not ready to give up just yet. He's probably going to have to concede, but Doug Roth's going to get loose coming out of turn 2. He's going to swing down, upside down. Oh, and Dwayne Vincent's going to lose it to the grass, and he's going to hit the inside wall now.
And there's that chaos I was talking about with these drivers not doing it. It looks like Vincent spun it back out on the backstretch, but still no caution. Green flag racing. Jose Gonzalez way out front at that point after this wreck. And a car in the wall in the front stretch going around.
I'm going to tell you something, Matt. You know, going back and looking at the replay, the pass for second to Dwayne Vincent underneath Doug Roth, it might have been a little bit of an arrow deal. Wreck at turn 1.
Yeah, I'm looking, and cars are scrambling everywhere, Keaton. I can't keep up with this, man. Definitely going to be a yellow, I think, there.
So far, still green flag racing here.
Yeah, all these cars got off the track, Keaton. None of them really went around in front of traffic, so that's definitely the reason why. But, man,
those involved.
5 or 6 cars that got taken out there in turn 1.
It might have been Luis Rodriguez involved, John Wilco, Larry King, man, running 20th position. That 71 truck is all but messed up. Dwayne Vincent, we mentioned him, involved in a self-spin there. Actually, you know, I went back and looked at that, Matt, and Dwayne Vincent was underneath the 43. He had him cleared and just lost it. So you really can't put that on Doug Roth there. It might have been Dwayne Vincent was too much on the throttle too soon, and it just came out from around him.
Well, I got to contribute that kind of Doug Roth, though, Keaton, because when at tracks, any track you go to, when you get a let off after you've already got in the gas and you get back into it, you're always going to get yourself a little squirrely. So, I mean, like I said, maybe not intentionally by the slow cars, they didn't have to touch them or anything, but just having the traffic up there definitely causes a huge problem.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And you know, keep in mind that aerodynamics play a big deal here, too, and that could have been what happened. I mean, he got up beside him and probably just lost the air, lost the air, and it went back to the back spoiler and just sent him around, and that's exactly what looked like happened, unless it was, September, December 21st deal.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm back in the 5th place position. You got Reuter bump drafting, and yes, I said bump drafting here at Homestead down the backstretch. That for Sam Edwards, now in 6th place, where Lanza's trying to battle back on the inside, but they were bump drafting all the way down the backstretch last time. Sam Edwards pushing that 20 car.
And of course, Matt, these guys are on fresh tires for the most part, all but Jose Gonzalez, who's now going to try to hang on to the lead for all he's got. Lawrence Phillips now working underneath. Bobby Terrell almost going to push it 3 wide there going into turn 3. Thought better of it. Still stays single file here. He's right behind Lawrence Phillips, who's going to be your new race leader here at Homestead.
Yeah, and it was just time to come that these guys were going to catch them up front.
Lawrence Phillips, race leader out front. Jose Gonzalez hanging on by a thread in 2nd position. Bobby Terrell, Matt, working underneath Jose here, coming in turn 4. Honda Racing, Bobby Terrell going to come out of turn 4 in 2nd position.
Yeah, Bobby Terrell going by, and now you got Scott Granberg to come in to make that pass on Jose Gonzalez as they go into 1. Followed by Brett McBride. There's your top 5 all in one shot right there, you guys. And you got Scott Granberg and Brett McBride now completing that pass as they go down the backstretch. But it spread those top 4 trucks out definitely by a few truck lengths each. So they're going to gather it up probably very quickly here with the draft model we got.
And while these guys continue to run single file here as Jose Gonzalez falls all the way back to 5th place, Brett McBride up to 4th. We will return with the last commercial here tonight at Homestead Miami Speedway. Again, you're watching the RSR Outlaw Truck Series, the Sandy Hook Memorial 90. Laps are starting to wind down, completing 78 of 90. When we return, green flag racing at Homestead. Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, and we got 1 car on the bottom of the 10 car. And we are back with coverage at Homestead Miami Speedway with the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series Sandy Hook Memorial 90. And you are watching ETV Live, the only choice in simulation auto racing broadcasting. Since 2008, ETV has produced over 600 shows, closing in on 700 for almost 200,000 viewers. ETV Live has pioneered and engineered some of the best innovations in online auto sports broadcasting. The industry experts, ETV Live is the only choice. Visit us today at www.etv-eplay.net. And, man, I tell you again here, broadcasting Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series, Matt, it's a battle for first.
Yeah, man, Bobby Terrell putting him all the way down on the apron going into turn 1. And now you got Scott Granberg putting him under attack. And they're almost hitting each other, trying to put it 3 wide as they're going down the backstretch.
I would say it's safe to say that Bobby Terrell may be blocking Scott Granberg, but hey, this is the Truck Series. This is the Outlaw Truck Series, baby. It's the 15-car truck in 3rd place, high side, outside, 2 wide down the front stretch with about 6 to go, 5 to go.
He's getting that run on the high side. We've been watching it all night long. He's going to do it again as he swings up to that wall. Definitely faster up there right now than Bobby Terrell because, man, he's swerving and he's blocking everybody right now out front.
The 14 truck wants a win. You can tell it in the Rays racing. He's got the high side, the inside lane working for him. The 15's on the outside. That's Lawrence Phillips. Keep in mind, folks, this guy took right sides only and didn't pit last time. And he's still hanging up there in the lead as Scott Granberg, quickest in practice, is in 3rd, but he's moving into 2nd.
Yes, I'm looking at this. They're closing in again, pinching him down. That's what he's got to do is keep him right on that white line. But he slips up. He almost gets into the 5 of Scott Granberg. Granberg swerves to miss him. Is that 2? Oh, he almost takes out the toe, too.
That's Brett McBride in the 2 truck, making his name known now. He moves up to 3rd position, putting the pass on Lawrence Phillips. Now Scott Granberg seeing if he can hang on to the throttle coming out of turn 4, trying to reel in Bobby Terrell down the front stretch. 4 laps to go here at Homestead, Miami.
That definitely shook it up, gave Bobby Terrell kind of a break. He's got to have Scott Granberg reel him in again. Back in the 4th place position, though, you got David Lanza now going around Lawrence Phillips. And then you got the 26 of Jose Gonzalez getting loose, almost taking out the 4 of Sam Edwards.
Look at David Lanza in the 4th place, putting the block on Lawrence Phillips, but Lawrence Phillips not going to be denied. Back underneath the 33 truck as they come out of turn 4. Lanza's going to have plenty of momentum. Here comes Sam Edwards, going to push it 3 wide down the front stretch.
3 wide down the front stretch, just bumper on the corner panels, so they can't do anything about that. Lanza gets turned. That's going to end the race under caution.
Lanza in 4th position, folks, is going to get turned coming into turn 2, just hard racing him and Lawrence Phillips there. And you're right, that's going to end the race and freeze the field with Bobby Terrell in the 14th truck getting it done. Scott Granberg finishing 2nd, and Rick McBride in the number 2 going to finish 3rd.
Well, they say you can only pinch for so long, Keaton, before something like that's going to happen. Like I said, they just had the bumper to the corner panel, so there wasn't much that they could do. And I mean, you don't always know if you're clear or not. You want to think you are, but he just drove it in there, hope it stuck, and Lanza tried to pinch him, not realizing they probably didn't have all that much room.
Trying to get the official word to see if Lawrence Phillips will be given an EOL here. And if so, Matt, this is going to be bad news for him. He is in the 4th position. And if he is given an EOL, he will fall all the way back to 18th, where David Lanza currently sits. Although no indication of an EOL penalty has been given out just yet. We're on lap 89, coming to what would be the white flag here, as Bobby Terrell already taking the gloves off. I love it. Bobby Terrell taking the gloves off in the truck there. He's ready to celebrate in victory lane, Matt.
Yeah, definitely ready to celebrate after a race like that. He did some good blocking, not to wreck himself up front those last few laps, where Scott Granberg in the 15 of Lawrence Phillips, excuse me, there, just all over his rear bumper, held him off till the end. It's just going to be a sad day, because where Lanza sits, you said 18th, he's just going to keep dropping on back because he couldn't drive that car around with the blown motor, so he'll probably end up finishing about 23rd tonight, right in front of Nicholas Silver. But it's still a hard-fought race by everybody, and man, what a finish.
Yeah, what an exciting race there towards the end. I'll tell you what, Bobby Terrell working that truck all over the racetrack here at Homestead, and Lawrence Phillips has been given the EOL penalty, man. He's going to go all the way back here to 18th position, and he's going to lose and give up 4th spot. Sam Edwards move him up to 4th, and Jose Gonzalez is going to move into the top 5. So good run for him. Jose Gonzalez, one of the other guys, Matt, taking right sides only, elected not to pit. And as the leader, Bobby Terrell, comes out of turn 4, the checkered flag is somewhat waving in the air, under caution as well here. Bobby Terrell, nonetheless, going to put on a dramatic season finish here to win this thing here at Homestead. Good job.
Yeah, no doubt, Keith. And just like David Lanza being the skilled driver he is, just definitely not mean to do that. But congratulations to Bobby Terrell. Bad night for Dwayne Vincent's, the points leader coming in here. Obviously not going to be our points leader, leaving as he pulled out a 24th place finish after being wrecked. Bobby Terrell, though, strong race all night, always up front, always gaining the time, because he's going to come around and burn off what he has left of those tires after that run, which can't be much.
We're going to try to get the top 3 here in momentarily. We're going to go to commercial break. When we return, hopefully the top 3 will be able to talk to us about their race. And then just to run you through the field real quick, Sam Edwards finished 4th, Jose Gonzalez 5th, Joe Reuter 6th, Brian Levengood 7th, John Abbott 8th, Kyle Tarasca 9th, Doug Roth 10th, Eric Malik 11th, John Milwain 12th, Scott Stencil finishing 13th, Jimmy North 14th, Sean Ronson 15th, Jason Lester 16th, Nathan Little 17th, Lawrence Phillips all the way back to 18th. We mentioned him giving the EOL penalty. And that'll be it. That finished on the lead lap. 18 trucks out of 29, or 31 taking the field here. Green flag first run here tonight. So when we return, hopefully the top 3 we'll have them here for you to talk to when we return.
Inside SimRacing.tv, the fastest show on the internet. Sim racing news and reviews since 2007, with new shows every week.
Huffman coming to a comfortable lead, coming out of 2. He's got about 8 car lengths, put it half a second over Dwayne Vincent as Chad Cole works the number 2 spot.
Time is running out. Vincent's got it. Cole wants it to the wall. Chevrolet puts the bumper to the 13 of Vincent. Vincent not backing down. He's in second. You know, when we got 1 car on the bottom, the 10 cars.
Welcome back. We just finished one exciting race here at Homestead Miami Speedway where Bobby Terrell putting on a show. So is Scott Granberg, Rhett McBride, Sam Edwards, and even Lawrence Phillips there towards the end putting on a show before the EOL penalty. And, of course, Sam Edwards and Jose Gonzalez also in the mix. But the caution flag fell, and it froze the field. And finishing third, Rhett McBride. Rhett, talk to us from qualifying 8th position and coming here tonight at Homestead, Miami, putting that truck, the number 2 truck, in 3rd position.
Yeah, man, it was trying to stay up there on front all night, and track position was big. I was just trying to stay up with the lead pack, keep it out of trouble, and it was just so loose. I mean, the truck was loose all night. You know, you're fighting on the edge, so I was just happy to be up there running with those guys and try to keep my nose clean. Second week, I've been up there at the front coming to the checker, and, you know, it's just something happens, but it was fun and had a good time.
Rhett, you mentioned last week, putting on a great show, too. Again, you finished just outside the top 5, but you're sitting 6th in points, 9 back. And there's not a person in front of you that finished ahead of you here tonight at Homestead. So you could be the points leader going into what would be 2 weeks from now when we pick the series back up after the Christmas holidays. And you could be the new points leader here in the Outlaw Truck Series.
Well, that'd be great. You know, I've just been trying to keep my nose clean. This is my first season running here at Real Sim Racing, so I just want to, you know, get respect to the guys around me and keep my nose clean. But yeah, man, I'd take it. Heck yeah.
And Rhett, we'll give you this time to thank anybody you like and who makes it happen for you.
Well, I'd like to thank my wife first off for letting me do this. Also my teammates, Sean Ronson and Larry King at Steel Horse Racing. We get out there and work on lines and other things, and just want to thank those guys. We put a lot of laps in together, and so that's about it.
All right, well, there you have it, folks. Rhett McBride, who could be the points leader after tonight's race, finishing 3rd at Homestead Miami Speedway. And to take you to the 2nd place finisher tonight, Scott Grenberg, Matt Close standing right with him.
Yeah, Scott, you were fastest in the middle of the run, not so much at the end, but the only one that chased down Dwayne Vincent there at the beginning. How was that truck for you tonight?
It was surprisingly good. I was really worried because I hadn't did anything more than a 20-lap run, but no, as long as you hit your marks at this place, you can the lap times stay really good, and I was surprised that I stayed where I was, but it was good. Reeled him in and took the lead.
You were our most consistent driver all night. Coming to those green flag pit stops, what was the strategy going through your mind?
Well, with the race going green so much, I just figured safest bet was just to split the race in half and hope for the best. I didn't get caught with a caution, and it worked out, and come out with the lead and held it off for a little bit, and then got the caution there with 20 to go, and then it was kind of start back in the pack a little bit.
All right, so 26 points behind after your first week, so this is definitely going to be a huge help to you. But who do you want to thank? Who got it done for you tonight?
Well, first and foremost, my wife and family to let me do this. Really appreciate it. Get these Thursdays nights to run with RCR. These guys put on a RSR. They put on a really professional league, and I'm just glad they had me. And thanks to you guys at the broadcast, you guys always put on a great show, and just fun to come. And my two teammates that helped a lot tonight, Joe in the 20, Eric in the 9. Those guys really we played strategy back and forth during the race, and it all played out.
All right, guys, that was Scott Granberg. Awesome finish for him tonight, finishing in the second place. Going to send it back to Keaton, who's in victory lane with our winner, Bobby Terrell.
3 words come to mind when I want to interview tonight's winner, Bobby Terrell. Here comes Bobby. Bobby, wow, what a move that you put on late in the race to take over the lead. Let's talk about that first, Bobby.
Well, thank you. I didn't know how they would do on 2 tires, but I figured that I had 4, and I figured I was good to go.
And then, Bobby, of course, the block. The move of the race, the block of the race, if you will, putting the block on. Man, I tell you what, you made that truck about 40 feet wide, and it sure did look like some fun racing.
Oh, it was a blast. I had so much fun tonight. I mean, this is what it's all about. I really hate to do stuff like that, but I mean, I figured with 10 to go, I would get done the same way. So I just did what I thought that anybody else would have done to me. So that's what I did.
And Bobby, you know, last week finishing 21st position, you're 24 back from the leader, Dwayne Vincent, who had a rough night here tonight. It's finishing first here tonight is definitely going to move you up. You're going to get that bonus point, and 2, the points that come with winning. So how do you feel about possibly the moving from 21st at least into the top 10 as I see it, or maybe even into the top 5?
Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, I felt like I had a top 5 truck last weekend, but just, you know, the unexpected thing happened, and it just happened too quick, and I couldn't get off of him. So hopefully this will give me some momentum and carry me through the rest of the season good.
Well, Bobby, the points have just now been posted, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but I'm going to anyway. Bobby Terrell moves up to 4th place. You're 9 points behind the leader, Rhett McBride, who finished 3rd tonight, and Scott Granberg moved up to 7th. So congratulations, Bobby. You went from 21st to 4th in one night. So how does that look? You know, you got the break, you got the Christmas holidays, you got the New Year coming up. How does that, you know, make you feel going into 2013, moving from 21st to 4th?
It feels good. I got the momentum on my side, so, you know, we'll just carry it on from here.
And, Bobby, we'll give you this time to thank who you'd like to, man.
Well, of course, I'd like to thank my family and for letting me do this, of course, my teammates, and they know who they are. And then I'd like to dedicate this win to all the families in Connecticut. They're going through a hard time right now, and it just breaks my heart.
Absolutely, Bobby. We're right there with you, man. And, you know, putting on a nice show tonight was the Sandy Hook Memorial 90, and it couldn't have ended in a better way with a great race. And I'll tell you what, looking forward to kicking off the 2013 series, or the season, in the truck series, the Outlaw Truck Series. And for me, Matt Close, J.D. Webb, and John Wessling, who was pushing all the buttons and all the good-looking camera views tonight, you can catch the replay here momentarily, folks. But so long from etv-eplay.net. We'll see you in 2013. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.